What's up, everybody? It's your boy Marcus the Money Man, the Appliance Boss, and we're live today on the weekend in the office, doing a little bit of extra stuff, getting prepared. So we got a pretty good live today to follow up on all those vlogs. So if you haven't checked it out, I did 21 vlogs in a row. So what have I been doing for the last couple of months? We've been planning to go live, planning to expand the business, and that's exactly what we did. So I documented as much as I could as things were happening in real time, as we were uh, adding stuff in, the roadblocks, blocks, the barriers, the things of that nature that's taking place. But I just wanted to kind of walk through and just kind of talk about, expanding the business and stuff that people don't really talk about when you're growing, right? Because as your business expands and you're actively going out there to grow, to add more people, add more trucks, you can get caught in this illusion that more means more. And let's take a step back on that, right? Because if you grow your business, you assume everything else is going to grow. Your profits will grow, your revenue will grow, you'll have more people, you'll have more vehicles, all of that stuff. But it doesn't always mean that you're going to get more money. And I tell you, right out the gate, if you don't plan it right, you could actually tank or just dive the rest of your entire business, right? So what we did recently, if you haven't, been following the journey the last couple of weeks, is we brought in four people at the same time. We brought in a new business manager to help manage the back office. We brought in three new appliance technicians to cover a large territory. So we're talking about a good hour and 40-minute stretch of road. Okay. So, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong with that. There's a lot of moving parts that has to take place. But more importantly, when you bring in four people, you got to train them. And when you're training four people at the same time, considering it was only nine of us to begin with here locally, we almost doubled, or at least we added about 50% more, a little bit under 50% more staff than what we already had. So immediately for this 2 week period, we're taking losses, right? Loss. So that eats directly into the bottom line. That's a direct cash flow issue. And we did it right after the holiday. Okay. And then after that, we did it going into our second weakest month of this year. So the timing, I tried to time it right. Usually May works out well, but it wasn't a good month. Okay. So we have not a good month. We're eating dead cash for these couple of weeks. Uh, we have to be prepared for that. So as the business owner, I knew perfectly well we were going into that situation where if we didn't have a strong month, we couldn't rely on the profits of the previous month. Okay. So leading up to that, I had to build up and do the right thing with the business, save up cash and not, sacrifice stuff. We cut back on a lot of expenses. We did the proper things to just make sure we can potentially eat salaries for 6 weeks, and that's the realism of what you're doing. So uh, if you're looking to grow cash flow, you got to watch out for that. Now, also too, as you add people and you're growing your area, in my instance, I'm not going to be there every single day. I can't physically shake their hand, look them eye to eye. So we built in practices in place already where we do huddles every morning. These little small things to keep everybody in line. My staff who answers the phone, they're all remote. So this is part of our company culture already. So by having these little things in place, it'll help, right? But nothing beats that hand to hand, eye to eye, shaking the hand, see what's going on type of feel. But you got to trust that you're hiring the right people. You hire for culture versus fixing things, right? Because if you don't have that right culture fit and they're out there, yeah, maybe they can fix stuff, but they're not representing your business. they're not working or communicating with others, they're just not a good fit. So when we hire for culture, we hire for a good fit, we hire for people that we want to work with and we feel comfortable working with. So if we have a good conversation together and you have a good technical ability, we can learn and grow and have a good open communication, whether we're here together every single day or don't see each other for 3 months. Which I don't plan on doing that, but you got to really consider that. And whether you're local or not, or you just expanding your business within your town, it's the same thing, right? You're not going to ride around with your technicians all the time, whether they're right up around the corner or 2 towns away. When they're gone and they're working with customers representing your business, it is them doing that. It's not you doing that. So in my instance, they're up there, they're like 3.5 hours away. And I have to trust that I made a good hire, that they will communicate when they do something wrong, and that I trained them good enough to one, use the tools that we have accessible to us, but two, when they run into a jam, they can communicate with the whole group and get the right answer going back. So now you couple that, as a business owner, just being nervous about other people going out representing you, potentially not getting 5 stars, and all those things that kind of goes with that. You can sometimes be under pressure to make a quick hire or force them out in the field so they can start making revenue. And don't get me wrong, this is a big commitment, but the urgency to fill the roles, I think at the beginning, was not felt as much, as opposed to taking the time to find the right people. So as we kind of interviewed all of our people, we looked and we assessed what kind of candidates do we have out there. And you'll get candidates, you'll get some people that lie, you'll get some people that really tell the truth. But when you find a couple of pieces, couple of guys, couple of gals who you feel like could be a good fit, and you're growing at the same time, you really gotta assess and see how well do you think they'll work together. And you may say, hey, that doesn't matter. They're out there working by themselves. It 100% matters. Because if you get one bad egg, or somebody who does not mix well, it can, it's going to drive everybody else crazy. It'll drive your office crazy. It'll drive the other technicians crazy. And you'll hear it all the time. So you'll spend so much time trying to work on that relationship, try to mend that, versus growing your business or doing what you need to do to elevate everybody else in the business. So what we did was we found a couple of guys, and we had some really good candidates. And when it came down to it, it's like, okay, which one of these guys do I feel like will work best together? And it's all about team building. So it wasn't necessarily about hiring the best person who can repair appliances, which, in this instance, I do believe we feel like we got the best ones who can repair the appliances. But there was a couple other candidates who could repair appliances really well too, and we chose not to go with those candidates and go with somebody who we feel culturally fits better with us, who is available to grow with us, and that'll work real good with the other people too. So you got to really be patient, think about it. We use assessments going forward. We have like our Tony Robbins DISC assessment. We use the free one, so you can use the free one. Just Google it, Tony Robbins DISC assessment, for free. If you don't know anything about that, look it up. It's a lot of things about it. And if you haven't done one before, take one yourself, read it. I guarantee you'll learn a little bit of something about yourself just by taking the assessment. So as we, like we said, the last couple of weeks, we hired the people. They've been with us now 2 weeks. And the biggest benefit that we can launch, or the reason why we can launch within 2 weeks, is because we have systems built to scale. Okay. We have, and we're not perfect, but we have documented processes. We have streamlined apps. We try to make it almost dummy proof, if you will, when it comes to giving the highest value. So we don't want to simplify it as, if you got a part, just multiply it by two. That's not the best way to run your business. It's not the most sophisticated way. So the easiest way is just to put the part in the calculator and let the calculator tell you how much the part's going to be. So that way, if you ever need to change pricing, stuff like that, we can do it on the fly. So that's part of our system that we built in. We have it so that way all of our calls, they all go into one spot. So no matter who's working, if we get into an emergency situation, the phone can ring everywhere at any given time. So that's a key thing that's built in to what we're doing and why we're able to scale. Our training, so material that we developed and curated versus material that we found over these years and we put together. We've collected all of that information and we put it in a structured manner where if you're brand new or if you're got 10 years experience or whatever, you'll be able to walk through the information and find what you need technical about the appliance, and then also our systems on how you use things, how do you click on buttons, how do you save. And basically that's what they do for these first 2 weeks. They figure out the software, can you get access. We train them on the basics of appliances. Everybody goes through the basics, whether you know it or not. And then not only do we train them or we talk to them about them, we watch videos, but we give them access to the materials. So even if they don't retain it right then and there, they know where to go and get it later on their own. We give them access to all of our training materials, our logins, and things of that nature that helps them continue to grow, right? And that's the biggest benefit when you're starting out is do you understand why things are broken? Can you troubleshoot? Can you diagnose this? And when you run into a problem, do you know who to call or where to go to? And that's the basics, the foundations of when you're bringing in a technical person, right? And we brought in a business manager too, so back office. So our back office stuff, we have a lot of different things that are going on that existed in the back office. But remember, this is an expansion. So we were adding new areas, new zip codes, new signage, new addresses. We got a new office. We didn't even have chairs first day. So the guys showed up. They didn't have chairs, and the neighbor next door, they had too many chairs. So they gave us some chairs, which we were very thankful for. But man, we just had a couple fold-out tables, some laptops, and some internet. We were bare essentials, ready to go. But a lot of things that we kind of overlooked because we haven't opened a brand new office in 3.5 years. So, but man, at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of things that you got to think about when you're expanding. Money first. Do you have enough saved up to be able to take some hits? So our projection, 6 weeks. Okay, we can roll 6 weeks of eating salary. That doesn't mean we're gonna go 6 weeks without bringing in any money. As a matter of fact, our two guys, they're able to close a couple calls this week during their training sessions. And so, but if all else fails, can you go 6 weeks without them bringing in a dime? And at the end of that 6 weeks, are you going to have somebody trained and ready to go and available to be able to produce for you? Or are you going to have somebody confused who really can't do it, and then they're going to quit because when they get on their own, they still don't know how to do it? Okay. So that's really kind of it. And then at the end of everything, doing all this working extra project committee meetings to make sure we got graphics updated and all of that stuff, you're going to run into burnout. The burnout is real. And it's not necessarily the burnout of the job itself. It's mentally being on all the time. So you got to be on in preparation, and then you got to realize you're going to forget something. And then when you forget something, you got to be on to be able to adjust. And then as you're adjusting and you're going live and you're bringing new people in, you got to be on point so that way you won't scare them away, right? We do a lot of good things here. We don't do everything right, but at the same time, we do a lot of good things here. So we, or me as a leader, I lean on hiring good people. I have good people, and that's one thing that I've been doing over the last couple of years, making sure we have good people in the appropriate spots so that they can be successful. So that's what we got right now, man. We got guys. They're trained. They took their vans back home on Friday, so they got back, and we're gonna kick off this weekend. We're setting up some ads. I got some strategic things that we're doing, but we're really about to saturate the market as we grow our Fresno area. We grow in the Modesto area as well. We're gonna really hit them hard with good quality work for the community there. So, but man, yeah, it's definitely real. And anybody got any questions? If you run into any problems or you get stuck, go ahead, throw them in a comment, and I'll definitely get back to answering. But that's what I've been up to for the last couple of weeks. Go watch the vlogs if you're just curious. I bought vehicles. I bought 2020 ProMaster. We got a 2004 Ford Ecoline with 60,000 miles that we thought had 600,000 miles on it. That's a whole nother story. That sucker broke down a couple times and still needs a sensor on the fuel sensor. We got a truck into the fleet. We got one of those Dodge Pro Ram truck with the Hemi engine. It's like a 2007, but the sucker's pretty good. It's got all the lock boxes and stuff for the plumbers. And man, we got 3 more vehicles, and we got 2 more to go buy. So now that we purchase different types of vehicles, we can see how they work with the guys. I'm thinking I want another ProMaster of that size. So we didn't get the highest one. We got the one with the top of the roof cut off, and it's just got like a rack on the top. But then we also got the van too. So I like those 2 vehicles. They're bigger. You can store stuff in them, and you can still drive around the neighborhood. The ProMaster is good because we got big ass logo on it, so it's going to stand out as we driving up and down the highway, up and down the streets in the area. So it's really going good. We got we're going to be on TV too, so that's going to be one thing that I'm going to talk with the coaching group on Wednesday. So we got we're going to be on TV here pretty soon. We're going to do a 6-month run of commercials, doing the prime time sessions. We got a question: best schooling to get more in depth about appliances. This is a bunch of them. You got Dyers in Texas, SSG in Atlanta. You got Fred's in Ohio. It's a bunch of them, man. Bunch of them. DCNF, what's up, man? How you doing out there hanging in the Midwest? It's hot out here, man. It's not 100 yet. Well, today anyway. It was a couple days ago, but what's up with you, man? Hope everything's going good on your side. But man, yeah, we it's kind of surreal too. We just hit 5 years in business. We're expanding out, so we're basically competing out there with these rest of these companies out here, these larger companies. So that's my expectation, is to continue to grow and compete, gain more market share in this appliance and plumbing. So I know it's the Appliance Boss channel, but we do have plumbers. We are a plumbing contracting company. Right now, we're just trying to focus on our direction. So service is our ticket. So we got and that's part of the reason why we're doing the commercials. So we're branding ourselves more so as the home service, the more commercial residential service company. Okay. So even though we're a plumbing contractor, we focus more on service equipment. So question is, should I go solo or join a warranty company? Woo! So we do a mix. We're about 80-20 right now, COD warranty. Right now we're gonna probably push towards 70. So we'll see what kind of good contracts we can get. with that. So I'm real picky about the warranty companies that I work with. So I'll sign up for any of them. But when I do the contract negotiations, sometimes it breaks down because they don't want to pay us. So it just depends on what you want to do and how you want to run your business. There's plenty of businesses out here and all over the country. I know one's in town. They run primarily third-party home warranty stuff, right? They get the bulk of all of them. And then there's another large company here. They do mostly manufacturers warranty stuff, and they run all up and down. They got like 60 something tech, 65 tech, something like that. So it's a mix. And then it's us. We're primarily COD, and we do our thing, and we still, we don't have 60 people, but at the end of the day, we get a nice chunk. Everybody's doing well. So DCNF, congratulations. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you're doing well, man. Definitely, I haven't been on that side of the world in a little while. So next time I'm out there, man, we're gonna have to catch up a bit too. But man, I'm about to get to it, guys. It's Saturday. I'm about to play with some ads, get our stuff going, which I probably should have did a couple of days ago, but procrastinate. That's the name of the game. Procrastinate. So many other things going. Like the Pacers won. I'm a Bulls fan, but I represent Indiana. So the Pacers won. For all you OKC fans, let's be real. Ain't no OKC fans out there, man. Ain't nobody. Everybody know OKC fans, unless you live in Oklahoma. So. But I hope everybody's doing good. You have a great Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.